Bailey, are we ready to rock and roll? Let's go ahead, huh? Okay, we're going to go ahead and get underway here with our Junior Market Goat Show this morning. Entering the ring now will be class number 1. It's our first class of lightweights. These goats will range in weight from 56 to 64 pounds. Again, entering the ring now is class number 1 of our Market Goat Show. These goats range in weight from 56 to 64 pounds. As we begin our goat show this morning, we'd like to take a moment and introduce our judge for the day. Dr. Scott Greiner is here with us. Dr. Greiner is a professor and extension specialist at Virginia Tech. He himself is a product of 4-H and is proud to have raised his daughters through the 4-H program. He works heavily with youth programs in the state of Virginia and has judged in 35+ states at all levels. We're excited to have Dr. Greiner here with us today as he sorts through our youth in the state of Colorado. As we get underway here this morning, and you are just joining us for our Market Goat Show here at the Colorado State Fair, and have friends and family that are maybe unable to attend the 2022 Colorado State Fair in person, Taylor Fort and his crew are here live streaming the event. They've been here all weekend through all of our junior market shows. There are 3 ways to find the live stream. You can go to Facebook, search Taylor Fort, or at taylor.a.fort, find the live stream there. You can jump on YouTube, search Taylor Fort, and you will find the 2022 Colorado State Fair Junior Market Goat Show. Or you can jump on their website at taylorfort.com/live. All 3 of those avenues are available for the live stream of today's Junior Market Goat Show. In addition, at any time throughout the day, if you would like to take a backdrop photo, Beverly is here again with her crew for our Colorado State Fair. They've been taking ring shots and backdrop photos all week. You can jump online at beverlyenglert.com and find your photos from the showmanship last night and also market portion of our show today. So again, beverlyenglert.com to find all of the photos from the Colorado State Fair. This will be our second call for Class 2 in our Market Goat Show. Second call for Class 2 in our Market Goat Show. as we begin our Market Goat show here this morning, we'd also like to remind all of our Market Goat exhibitors that if you are a sale qualifier, we will have a premier exhibitor and market sale meeting at 5 o'clock at the west end of the Livestock Pavilion. If you are a Market Goat sale qualifier, we will have a sale qualifier and premier exhibitor meeting at 5 o'clock at the west end of the Livestock Pavilion. This will be our final call for class number 2. It's our final call for class number 2.
Well, good morning, everyone. Certainly a great honor and pleasure to have the opportunity to join you today at the Colorado State Fair, and look forward to a great goat show. And if our Class 1 is any indication of where we're headed, this is it's going to be lots of fun, and I'm really pleased here as we get Division I started. Tremendously good set of goats here in this lightweight class. We've got some goats on the other side of the ring we're not going to talk about. We visited with the young people that are just a little green yet, but I think as you look at them from a quality standpoint, they're goats that have the right pieces. They're goats that are made right in terms of their skeleton and their body shape, and they've got some muscularity and some compositional correctness and muscularity. Goats that just aren't 12 o'clock yet, like our top 5 is, or closer to being 12 o'clock, but those young people have got some goats that are awfully nice. I think a nice trio of goats that we lead off this particular class. The young lady's goat we lead with kind of overwhelms them in terms of his mass. He's a really great bodied goat. I love his chest floor. I love the way he's opened up through his upper rib cage. The amount of dimension he's got up high just kind of excels this particular class, and he's the one that's really big bodied. I love that about him. If we change him, you'd strengthen him right in behind his shoulder, but I think where he's particularly better than the goat in second is through his hind saddle. He's more opened up in his pin set. He's got more natural base width coming and going as we put him in motion. Just a really good bodied one, a really muscular, stout-ended one that I think still got enough look. Congratulations to that young lady. A good goat that comes in here second. I think from his hip forward, he's awfully nice. He's probably a little more elevated up front than the goat that we start with. His problem is he's just not quite enough of him. When we get him on the three-quarter view, I'd like to open him up as you study him, the way he travels out of his hock and the dimension he has. But I think where he's better than the black-headed one is I think he's more correct from the hock down in terms of his agility, in terms of his mobility and athleticism. I think he's more correct in his skeleton and structure. We're going to give up just a little bit of mass to do that, because I think the black-headed goat is more massive in that regard. His problem for me is when we put him in motion, he's a little disassembled from the hock down. He's not as square and true in his movement. I love his composition because he's really shapely. He's really muscular. I love his length of body. I think he's a goat that I think with some more time on feed and some more maturity, as his pieces fit together a little better, we're going to like him. But that's a nice goat that comes in there third. His muscularity and terminal shape kind of get him past the goats in fourth and fifth. This is a pair of goats that are really nicely built. They're really attractive. They're really athletic in their movement. At the end of the day, they don't have quite enough to them in terms of mass and substance for me. This goat in fourth, I think, is maybe just a little further along in terms of his handling quality. He's got more mass to him from fore to rear than the goat in fifth. That goat in fifth's got a lot of presence. I love his neck. I love his elevation up front. I like his levelness of hip and his skeletal design. He just needs a little more to him to compete with our top trio of goats. Congratulations to our young people here and our lightweights as we get our market goat show started.
Congratulations to our exhibitors out of class number 1. Your class winner is Carson Fetzer from Weld County. Second in class was Mary Friend from Montrose County. Third in class was Lexi Vrabik from El Paso County. Fourth in class was Luke Foley from Larimer County. Fifth in class was Madeline Unruh from El Paso County. Sixth in class was Madeline Unruh from El Paso County. Seventh in class was Faith Eichler from Eagle County. Eighth in class was Whitley Schweitzer from Larimer County. Ninth in class was Kylie Cheese from La Plata County. And 10th in class was Presley Oliver from Montezuma County. Entering the ring at this time will be class number 2 in our Market Goat Show. These goats weight range from 65 to 70 pounds. Class number 2 in our Junior Market Goat Show weight range from 65 to 70 pounds. If you're joining us for the first time at the Colorado State Fair with our Junior Market Goat Show, the top 5 goats from each class will undergo a weigh-back process. There is a 5% weigh-back in order to be eligible to compete at the top end of each one of these classes. So there's a 5% weigh-back. We appreciate Mr. Bo Sanders and his crew for being here with us all week and providing the scales and their time and energy and everything that they do for the youth in the state of Colorado. If you see these guys around throughout the Market Goat Show today, be sure to take a little time and thank them for all their energy and efforts supporting the youth here in the state of Colorado. This will be our first call for Class 1 or Class 3 in our Market Goat Show. First call for Class 3 in our Market Goat Show.
Well, as we move throughout the day, we're going to have some bigger classes, and they've asked me to place 10, and so we'll progress with that. And made a mention to the young people on this side of the ring. They've worked really hard, got a nice set of goats, very competitive classes. I'm sure we'll have all day long, but that's not to take anything away from them. Some goats that in general maybe aren't quite as stout and muscular, or in general aren't quite as assembled as correctly, but really hard-working young people that have got high-quality goats and done a great job here at the Colorado State Fair. Give them a nice hand of encouragement and congratulations for their efforts.
This is our final call for class number 3 and our Market Goat Show. Final call for class number 3.
Well, another very competitive class, so congratulations to these young people. I think a really nice goat to start with that I think as we talk about the things that I think are important, and that's goats that have some power and some product in them, and that goat kind of overwhelms the class in that regard, and yet he's one, particularly from his hip forward, is probably assembled as good as any. He's really good in his upper rib cage. He's ultra good in terms of his touch and handle and the amount of muscle dimension he has. He gets out and moves, and he gathers himself, and he holds himself together really well when we put him in motion. I'd square him up in his hock just a little bit. I think his mobility's good. I think his presence is good when we walk him. I'd just make him a notch more stable out of his hock behind is the thing I'd change about him. But really a powered up goat that you study him in this view in terms of the way he opens up in his hip and his pin set and his rib cage. He overwhelms these goats that follow right behind him in 2 and 3. I thought the decision in the class was 2 and 3. Some differences for sure. A little more extension in our goat in second. I think there's a little more correctness in terms of his length and levelness of hip. I don't know that there's a lot of difference muscularity-wise in terms of total product. Maybe a notch more expression in the goat that we've got in third, but I think our goat in second puts that together in a little better package in terms of the way he's assembled and the way his pieces fit together. A deceiving goat that comes in third from the side view, maybe not one that overwhelms you, but you get him behind him. He's probably second to our class winner just in terms of squareness and in terms of true body width. Back through his hind saddle. I wish his front end matched that. I wish he was a little more elevated as you study him up front, but I think he's got enough more power compared to the goats that stand right behind him. The goat in fourth arguably is a little more up-fronted, a little more extended. That goat's maybe just a little bit green as I study him today. I like his balance, and I like the way he presents himself in terms of his profile. Just wish there was a notch more to him. This goat in fifth is just not there yet. He just needs more time, young lady. He needs more time on feed, and he needs more bloom. That goat's just a little disappointing right behind his shoulder over his rack. He doesn't have the muscular shape as you study him from fore to rear, but in terms of the way he's put together and the way he balances up, he's a tremendously good goat. We've visited with our top 10. Really nice set of goats all the way through. Congratulate these young people with a nice round of applause, please.
Congratulations to our exhibitors out of class number 2. Your class winner is Shay Stone from Weld County. Second in that class was Lucinda Mares from Phillips County. Third in class, Bo Carlson from Logan County. Fourth in class, Bella Campbell from Sedgwick County. Fifth in class, Michaela Millsap from Montrose County. Sixth in class, Nick Gates from Rio Blanco County. Seventh in class, Trinity Bolger from Moffett County. Eighth in class, Hayden Page from Washington County. Ninth in class, Corbin Jaggers from Bent County. And 10th in class was Alex Eichler from Eagle County. Entering the ring now is class number 3. This is our final class in our lightweight division. These goats range in weight from 71 to 73 pounds. Class number 3, weight ranges from 71 to 73 pounds. At the conclusion of this class, we will select for our champion and reserve lightweight. livestock exhibitors would like to send a reminder that the CSU Department of Animal Science is having their final daily drawing today. Be sure to head on over to the CSU Department of Animal Science booth and enter the daily drawing to win some free swag sponsored by Colorado State University Department of Animal Science, the Colorado Beef Breeds Council, the Colorado Cattlemen's Association, and the Colorado Livestock Association. Please enter before the final class of market goats today for the daily drawing. Also, today is the final day to enter the drawing for our last Nutrient Ag Day package over at the CSU Department of Animal Science booth. This package consists of 4 barbecue tickets, 4 football tickets, and 1 parking pass for the CSU Ag Day football game. Anyone can enter over at the CSU booth. So multiple drawings going on today. Be sure to swing by and enter those drawings for a chance to win some of their prizes. This would be our first call for class number 4 in our Market Goat Show. We would also like to have our first and seconds out of class 1 and 2 make their way to the holding area. First call for our first and seconds out of class 1 and 2 to make their way to the holding area.
Let's congratulate our young people here on this side for an excellent job and their hard work here this morning.
This would be our second call for class number 4. This is our second call for class number 4.
very, very competitive class to wind up our middle or our lightweight division, excuse me, the heavy end of those. And I think some give and take out here for sure. And with that said, I'm very, very comfortable in terms of the goat that wins this particular class. He's one that certainly is very, very fresh in terms of his presentation, presented very, very well. He handles good. He's a big ribbed one. He's one that's wide in terms of his pin set, naturally wide in terms of his skeleton and his forearm. We like all those things about him. He's maybe not as just as massive in terms of his shape when you get right on top of him as some goats that we've used, but I think in terms of body type and kind, I think compared to our goat in second, he's just more blown apart from fore to rear. I thought the 2, 3, and 4 in this class to me are the challenge, and we got to make some decisions. The goat that we've got in second, to me, I think his pieces fit together just a little nicer than the 2 goats that stand right behind him. No, he's not as exotic in terms of his frame, in terms of his extension and elevation up front. He's a goat that maybe there's not any pieces that you look at him and say, wow, but at the same time, you start picking him apart. I like his construction. I think he's better in his top line. I think he's better out through his hip than the goat that we got coming in third. I think he maintains more natural base width behind, and he's got more forearm and chest floor. The painted up goat that comes fourth, he's got some unique pieces, no question. He's really good up front. He's long-bodied. He's a goat that has a nice touch in terms of his shape. To me, he's just a little harder in terms of his rib. He doesn't have quite the hindsidal squareness, dimension, and mass of the 2 goats that stand right ahead of him, but I think his top line's a little better. He's stronger in behind his shoulder. He's better out through his hip in terms of the way his tail head sets up high compared to our goat in fourth. Really nice shaped goat when you get on top of him is in fourth. I like his rack. I like the turn to his loin edge. I like all those things about him. He's just a little jammed up. He's a little rougher in his top line. He's not as good out through his hip as the goats that we've talked about, but again, compositionally, an awfully nice one. This goat in fifth's got some really cool pieces because he's really good balanced. He's really good on his feet and legs. He's ultra good in terms of the way he gets out and travels. At the end of the day, he's the narrowest one. He just doesn't have quite enough product to go with that extra extension and framework. The young man's done a great job. Congratulations. Good set of goats all the way through. Give these kids a nice hand, please.
Congratulations to our exhibitors out of class number 3. Your class winner went to Bo Carlson of Logan County. Second in class was J.C. Meckelberg from Yuma County. Third in class was Carson Fetzer from Weld County. Fourth in class was Jordan Reuter from Larimer County. Fifth in class was Andrew Foley from Larimer County. Sixth in class was Caitlin Meckelberg from Yuma County. Seventh in class was Haley Schofield from Otero County. Eighth in class was Landon Spate from Delta County. Ninth in class was Henry Langford from Morgan County. And 10th in class was Tinley Weathers from Yuma County. At this time, we will have the selection of our champion and reserve lightweight market goat. Out of class number 1, your class winner was Carson Fetzer from Weld County. Second in that class was Mary Friend from Montrose County. Out of class number 2, your class winner was Shay Stone from Weld County. And second in that class was Lucinda Maris from Phillips County. And out of your third class, your class winner was Bo Carlson from Logan County. Second in that class was J.C. Meckelberg from Yuma County. Again, this is your selection for your champion and reserve lightweight. This will also serve as the final call for class number 4 in our Market Goat Show. Final call for class number 4 in our Market Goat Show.
Well, again, certainly a great honor and privilege to have the opportunity to join you today. I think we've had a great Division I set of lightweight goats and 3 really nice class winners and very, very competitive classes all the way through. I'm very, very pleased with them, and I think these 3 goats represent what I'm after and trying to find. I thought all 3 class winners did that really well. They're goats that I think are stout-made and powerful and have some terminal shape, and yet goats that I think are balanced and correct in terms of their skeleton and offer some appeal and some athleticism when we put them in motion. They're not exactly the same. I'll just talk real briefly. That lightweight goat, from his hip forward, that dude's really good in terms of his rib shape, his chest floor, his forearm. He's really good up through his rack and over his loin edge. I like those things about him in terms of the way he touches. To be a little critical out here, he's maybe just a little easy behind his shoulder. And when you get him on the 3/4 view, I'm not sure he opens up quite as wide in his pins and through his upper hip and from behind as the 2 goats that stand right behind him. But man, that dude's got some really, really good pieces that I certainly like. This goat that won the middle class, he's ultra good in this view. I mean, dead level down his top, really good out through his hip. He's beautiful through his chest floor. He's the best handling one when you get right on top of him in terms of rack, in terms of loin edge. You love those things about him. He's good through his upper hip. He's wide from behind in terms of his stifle and the amount of total leg dimension he's got. 2 things I'd fix ever so slightly. From the side view, I don't know that he has quite as much shape through his lower leg and twist as the 2 goats that stand next to him. And as we talked in class, I think he's athletic. He gets out and moves. I'd stabilize him just a little bit in terms of his hock, from the hock down in terms of the way he travels. The goat that we got that won the heavy class, I think in a lot of ways is very similar to those 2 we discussed in terms of his rib shape. He's ultra fresh. I like his length of neck. You like him in terms of his shape and his total muscle mass. I don't think he's quite as explosive from a handling standpoint as either the lightweight or the Class 2 winner. I think he's better up through his upper hip and back through his pins. He's a really fresh one that's well presented, good in terms of his feet and legs, and I think he maybe holds himself together just a nickel better on the move than he does even on the standstill. 3 awfully good goats that have lots of quality. There's 3 really good seconds there. We'll consider them. Maybe give up just a little bit in terms of mass, but those young people have worked hard. Give our Division I winners a nice hand, if you would, please, and I'll congratulate the 2 I like best.
Congratulations to your lightweight champions. Your champion lightweight comes out of class number 2, Shay Stone from Weld County. And your reserve champion lightweight comes out of class number 3 and is exhibited by Bo Carlson of Logan County. Entering the ring now is class number 4. Our first class in our medium weight division. These goats have a weight range of 74 to 77 pounds. Class number 4, weight range from 74 to 77 pounds. Livestock exhibitors, if you have friends and family that were unable to attend the 2022 Colorado State Fair Junior Market Goat Show, Taylor Fort and his crew are here live streaming the event. You can jump online on Facebook, search Taylor Fort, or at taylor.a.fort. You can find the live stream on YouTube. Search Taylor Fort and the 2022 Colorado State Fair Junior Market Goat Show will be there. Or go to their website at taylorfort.com/live and find the live stream there. We appreciate those guys being here all weekend through our junior market shows. They've done an excellent job. So if you have friends and family unable to attend the show in person, the show is being live streamed. Also like to remind all of our sale qualifying market goat exhibitors that there will be a exhibitor meeting at 5 o'clock, the west end of the Livestock Pavilion, for the premier exhibitor and sale information. If you qualify for the junior market sale with your market goat, there is an exhibitor meeting at 5 p.m. this evening at the west end of the Livestock Pavilion. This will be our first call for class number 5 in our Market Goat Show. First call for class number 5 in our Market Goat Show. Second call for class number 5 in our Market Goat Show. Second call for class 5 in our Market Goat Show. Let's go ahead and give these guys from our market class number 4 a nice round of applause as they exit the ring. Market Goat exhibitors, as we progress through our show, if you are interested in sending your goats on the truck, the floor bid is $2 a pound. The buyback bid is $2 a pound. They will start accepting those goats in the southwest corner of the beef barn after the grand drive. They will not start accepting those goats until the completion of the grand drive, the southwest corner of the beef barn, and they will be there until 3 p.m. this afternoon. That is when they will start loading those goats onto the truck. So you must be there by 3. The sign-up sheet will be over at the pen. You must make sure to get your name on the sign-up sheet prior to sending your goat onto the truck. So that bid price is $2 a pound. They'll be taking those goats in the southwest corner of the beef barn starting at the conclusion of the grand drive. Also a reminder that the grand drive will begin half an hour following the completion of the heavyweight selection. The grand drive will begin half an hour following the completion of the heavyweight selection. This will be the final call for class number 5. Final call for class number 5 in our Market Goat Show.
Another quality class, and I think this one here is a little tougher to kind of put together. I think as we study through them, I think all these goats have a lot of good and a lot of quality to them, and yet I'm not sure there's one that runs away with this class in terms of putting all the pieces together, but I think the one that we start with does the most good things, and he's not perfect, and he's got some things he gives up to the goats that stand behind him, but I think in terms of putting those pieces together, he does that very well. I like this goat in terms of the way he's opened up from forward to rear. He's a really square built one that's good in his upper rib cage, got plenty of muscle as you watch him from behind his shoulder all the way to his twist. That's where he excels our goat in second. It's just sheer muscle mass and handling quality from that standpoint. He's maybe not quite as fresh. He's not quite as good at the point of his shoulder. He's not quite as good in his neck shoulder hookup as the goat that we got in second, but I think there's more honest and genuine width in that goat. I think when we put him in motion, he maintains some balance. He's not the best one in terms terms of just front third and being elevated that we've used today, but a good practical kind of a goat, I think, to lead the class. I think the goat that's most similar to him is the young man's goat in second. Really fresh, really well presented, maybe just a little plainer in terms of the way he's shaped. I'd like to open him up just a notch behind his shoulder, give him just a little more expression as you study him from fore to rear. But I like that goat in terms of his body shape, his structural soundness and correctness, the way he kind of fits together. I like a lot of pieces about him. I think he's naturally a wider built goat. I think he's got more substance in chest floor and forearm, and he's better in terms of his rib cage than the goat that comes in third. The goat in third's a little more extended. He's got just a little more elevation up front. He's a little better in terms of his chest, but that goat's just a little plainer from a muscular standpoint. Maybe of the top five, he's the goat that we change the most in terms of his muscle mass. This goat in four is intriguing. From his hip forward, he's a goat you gotta love. He probably touches and handles as well as any goat that we've got in this particular class. His problem is out of his hip and hind leg, he's not quite good enough in terms of his skeletal structure. I don't think his rear third quite matches his front third in that regard, but a nice goat that this young lady's done an excellent job with. The goat that comes out there fifth, very, very muscular and shapely, just a little piece together. We just need to make those pieces fit a little better, give him a little more balance and symmetry to go with that terminal shape, and we might move him up a notch or two, but a good goat in a lot of ways. Congratulations to our top 10. Excellent set of young people.
Congratulations to our exhibitors out of class number 4. Your class winner is Hannah Rigarazzi from Kit Carson County. Second in class was Blake Brochelle from Weld County. Third in class was Lucinda Merez from Phillips County. Fourth in class was Abby Fetzer from Weld County. Fifth in class was Dylan Wagner from Logan County. Sixth in class was Keely Langford from Morgan County. Seventh in class was Lauren Spate from Delta County. Eighth in class was Sienna Rogers from Rio Blanco County. Ninth in class was Anna Vetter from Arapahoe County. And 10th in class was Luke Foley from Larimer County. Entering the ring at this time will be class number 5 of our Market Goat Show. These goats weighing from 78 to 80 pounds. Class number 5 of our Market Goat Show, goats ranging in weight from 78 to 80 pounds. Want to give a reminder to our livestock exhibitors. Be sure to swing by the Colorado State University Department of Animal Science booth and register to win some free swag. The swag is sponsored by the CSU Department of Animal Science, the Colorado Beef Breeds Council, the Colorado Cattlemen's Association, and the Colorado Livestock Association. They're giving away coolers, water bottles, backpacks, etc. Please enter the drawing before the final class of Market Goats today. While you're over there, enter for the final package of the Nutrien Ag Day package. Each comes with 4 barbecue tickets, 4 football tickets, and a parking pass to the CSU Ag Day football game. Anyone can enter, and today is the last day to enter for that drawing. Stop on by the CSU Department of Animal Science booth and enter for their 2 drawings. Let's go ahead and give all of our exhibitors from class number 5 a nice round of applause as they exit the ring. This will be our first call for class number 6 in our Market Goat Show. First call for class number 6 in our Market Goat Show. Second call for class number 6 in our Market Show. Second call for class number 6 in our Market Goat Show.
Well, maybe as competitive on the top end as we've had yet today, and congratulations to all these young people. Really a good set of goats, and I think this top pair is close. There's some give and take, and the reason there's give and take is because I think those two goats are different in what they're really good at. They're both really good, just good in different ways. At the end of the day, the spot top goat we're going to start with, to me, is the more massive. He's the bolder featured one. He's the one that's more opened up. You get him on the three-quarter view like where I'm standing right now, and you love him in terms of his chest floor, his bigness of forearm, his upper rib shape, and his rack dimension. From his hip on forward, he's just a bulkier, stouter, bolder featured goat that's got more mass all the way through than our goat in second. Now, with that said, this goat in second is ultra good on the profile. I love his silhouette. I love his lines in terms of the way he's constructed and put together. If we could give him just a nickel more shape as you study him right behind his shoulder and right down his top, I think he's competitive through his hip and through his leg compared to the goat we start with, but he's just a little plainer in terms of the way he's shaped as you study his top side of his skeleton. But man, he is extended. He's ultra athletic in the on the move. I love those things about him. That's a really good goat that we put second. This young man's got a really good goat that comes in there third as well. Really a shapely one that's really, really fresh. At the end of the day, he's not quite as massed up as our class winner. He's not quite as extended. He's not quite as good in terms of his lines and skeleton as the goat that we use in second, so he kind of falls in there third. But that's a really, really good goat. Probably as good a goat as we've had third all day long for sure. Pair of nice goats that round out our top five. This goat in fourth, again, is practical in his build. He's big in his rib cage. At the end of the day, I think he's more muscular and shapely and stouter from the ground up than our goat that we got in fifth. The goat in fifth is more extended, certainly gives us a little more attractive look as we get him on the profile. But again, a goat that's a little sharper behind his shoulder. We just need to widen him up and give him more total mass and product. Really a competitive top 10 as well. Congratulate these young people, a good set of middleweights.
Congratulations to our exhibitors out of class number 5. Your class winner is Anna Vetter from Arapahoe County. Second in class is Briley Schweer from Weld County. Third in class is Luke Foley from Larimer County. Fourth in class is Jordan Reuter from Larimer County. Fifth in class is Lexi Hill from Mesa County. Sixth in class is Hayden Adams from Sedgwick County. Seventh in class is Jay Singleton from Pueblo County. Eighth in class is Cashley Hayden from Weld County. Ninth in class is Trinity Bolger from Moffat County. And 10th in class is Becca O'Donnell from Montrose County. Entering the ring at this time is class number 6 in our Market Goat Show. These goats range in weight from 81 to 84 pounds. Class number 6 in our Market Goat Show. Goats range in weight from 81 to 84 pounds. Let's congratulate our exhibitors from class number 6 as they exit the ring. Congratulations. This is our first official call for class number 7 in our Market Goat Show. So our first official call for class number 7 in our Market Goat Show. Market Goat exhibitors, as you are showing throughout the day, if you are interested in sending goats on the truck, the floor bid is $2 a pound. They will be starting to accept those goats after the grand drive. They will not be accepting goats prior to that. After the grand drive in the southwest corner of the beef barn, they will begin taking buyback goats. They will stay there until 3 p.m. You need to have your goats over to the truck by 3 p.m. The sign-up sheet will be at the pen, and you need to make sure to get your name on the sign-up sheet when you take your goats over there. Again, starting at the conclusion of the grand drive, they will begin to accept buyback goats with a bid of $2 a pound in the southwest corner of the beef barn. An additional reminder that the grand drive will begin 30 minutes following the selection of our champion and reserve heavyweight. The grand drive will begin 30 minutes following the selection of our grand and reserve heavyweight. Our second call for class number 7, Market Goats. Second call for class number 7, Market Goats. This is our final call for class number 7, our Market Goat Show. Final call for class number 7 in our Market Goat Show.
Well, again, really a good class here and a good top 10 and lots of quality to sort through and a lot of fun, and hats off to these young people. Very, very competitive and ultra good goats up here on the top end. The young man's goat we start with, I think this rascal's got a lot of positive things. He, after you say he's not the biggest, most extended, most jacked up one from the side view, man, you talk about one that is square built, really good bodied, extremely good to the touch, and he overwhelms his classmates out here in terms of his trueness of rib shape, the way that guy handles up through his rack and over his loin edge. He's really good down his top line. When that young man gets him propped up, I think still he's moderate in terms of his kind, and maybe you'd like to make him just a little more elevated and maybe just a little longer and leaner necked. We could talk about all those things, but when we talk about the fundamentals in terms of terminal shape and freshness and built right and good in his skeleton, he's a really nice goat. Thing I'd probably change most about him is just open him up ever so slightly when you get right behind him in terms of his hip and his width from stifle to stifle. I think he's proportional. I think he's adequate in that regard. He's maybe not the squarest built one in terms of width as you study him. I think the goat in second, that's where he kind of excels. The product goat out here of the top 5 might be this goat in second. And just in terms of total muscle mass, he's maybe a little bigger hipped and a little bigger through his hind saddle than the goat we started with. With that, he's maybe not quite as good in terms of the way he's built. To me, he's a little tighter in his overall skeleton. He's certainly not as good behind his shoulder and over his loin edge as the goat that we start with, and he's not as good in terms of his body shape and the way he's designed. Really fresh goat that comes in there third, very muscular, big and shapely in terms of his top. He's a little off in terms of his hip. He doesn't handle himself quite as good there. To me, he gets just a little piecier in terms of the way he's constructed, but terminal shape and composition-wise, he's a really nice goat. A lot the same for the goat in fourth. Man, just from a carcass trait perspective, this goat's really, really good because he's ultra shapely in his top. He's really big hip. He's got as much muscle mass as any of them out here. His problem is we put him in motion. He's pretty steep in his hip. He's a little off in terms of his coordination and trueness from hock to ground. I just need to redesign him through the rear third of his body in terms of the way his skeleton is put together. And of our top 5, we got a really nice goat that's in fifth. Really good in terms of his chest, clean in his shoulder, long up front, really long spine. At the end of the day, he falls just a notch short in terms of total product and muscular shape. Really good goats on that end. We've talked to those young people. My hat's off and congratulations to them. Give them a nice hand for another competitive class.
Congratulations to our exhibitors out of class number 6. Your class winner is Dylan Stone from Weld County. Second in class is Josh Ryan from Weld County. Third in class is Ridge Smith from Montrose County. Fourth in class is Anna Vetter from Arapahoe County. Fifth in class is Andrew Foley from Larimer County. Sixth in class is Trent Mock from Douglas County. Seventh in class is Nate Fetzer from Weld County. Eighth in class is Elena Mock from Douglas County. Ninth in class is Addison Hodson from Weld County. And 10th in class is Brooke Morgan from Weld County. Entering the ring now is class number 7. This is our final class in the medium weight division. These goats range in weight from 85 to 87 pounds. Class number 7, this is our final medium weight class. These goats range in weight from 85 to 87 pounds. We'd like to remind all of our market goat exhibitors, if they have friends and family that were unable to attend the 2022 Colorado State Fair Junior Market Goat Show in person, the show is being live streamed by Mr. Taylor Fort and his crew. There are 3 ways to find and view the live stream. You can jump on Facebook and search Taylor Fort or at taylor.a.fort. You can jump on YouTube search Taylor Fort and you will find the 2022 Colorado State Fair Junior Market Goat Show. Or you can visit their website, taylorfort.com/live, to view the live stream. We would also like to remind all of our Junior Market Goat exhibitors, if you qualify for the livestock sale, you need to meet at 5 p.m. this afternoon at the west side of the Livestock Pavilion for a market sale qualifier and premier exhibitor meeting. If you qualify today in the show for the market sale, you need to meet at the west end of the Livestock Pavilion at 5 p.m. this afternoon for a sale qualifier and premier exhibitor meeting. We'd also like to remind all of our Junior Market Goat exhibitors that the grand drive will begin a half an hour after the completion of our heavyweight division. Once we've selected a champion in reserve heavyweight, we will begin the grand drive in half an hour after that. This is our first call for class number 8, our Market Goat Show. First call for class number 8. We also need all of our class winners and seconds to begin returning to the show ring out of our medium weight division. Also need all of our first and seconds to return to the show ring out of our medium weight division. Let's go ahead and give a nice round of applause to all of our exhibitors out of class number 7 for doing an excellent job. Livestock exhibitors, if you are interested in purchasing photos from the 2022 Colorado State Fair, Beverly and her crew are back here again with us this year. They have been taking ring shots and backdrop photos throughout all of our junior market shows. They're here with us again today for our junior market goat show. Those photos are available at beverlyenglert.com, or you can jump on their Facebook page and find the link to the sales site there. So if you're interested in purchasing some of the photos from the Colorado State Fair this year, jump on beverlyenglert.com or go to their Facebook page to view those photos. This will be second call for class number 8 in our market goat show. Second call for class number 8. We need all of our first and seconds back from our medium weight division. We need all of our first and seconds back out of our medium weight division.
Another quality class to wind up our middleweights, and I think for me this class quickly becomes a top pair of goats that kind of evaluate and sort through. Both of them have lots of good and lots of quality. At the end of the day, I think the goat we use to win is the one that's the most complete. I think he puts his compositional correctness on a little better package in terms of the way he's balanced and his athleticism, the way he gets out and travels. Really like that goat in terms of the way he's constructed on his feet and legs, his agility and athleticism when we put him in motion. He's not the biggest top, shapeliest one that we've used, particularly right up over his rack, and so it'll be interesting to get him out here in our middleweight drive. But in terms of building one that's correct and fresh and yet has a lot of mass to him, certainly a goat with a lot of quality. Arguably the goat in second's a little bigger in terms of his top side and upper rib, maybe just slightly more massive when you get right behind him, but a goat that doesn't, his go button's not quite working for the young lady today, and he just doesn't want to get out and cooperate. And I think that's a little bit the way he's constructed. He's not as ideal in terms of his set from the hock down, and maybe not quite as good in terms of his overall body and skeleton, but that's a really good goat. I think compositionally, I think he's considerably ahead of our goat that we've got in third. He's more muscular and stouter and fresher. Our goat in third's built really well. A lot of quality to that goat in terms of his rib, in terms of his balance and his flexibility, and in terms of the way he gets out and travels. He's just a little plainer to the touch. He's a little bit staler. He doesn't have the handling quality of the goats in first and second, and so I think he lands third pretty logically. The spot hawk goat coming in there next, nothing wrong with his composition. He's very terminal in his shape. He's lean enough. He's got lots of expression. Just needs to be put together a little fancier compared to those goats ahead of him. Then we end up in fifth, certainly one that's big boned and footed and fresh in terms of the touch. I thought he had just a little more true width of skeleton. He's a little softer as well. I'd like to tone him up and give him just a little more handling quality on a comparative basis. Congratulations, these young people. Another very competitive class here in your heavy middles.
Congratulations to our exhibitors out of class number 7. Your class winner was Briley Schweer from Weld County. Second in class was Brooke Lambrick from Weld County. Third in class was Bella Campbell from Sedgwick County. Fourth in class was Lindsay Meckelberg from Yuma County. Fifth in class was Connor Craven from Weld County. Sixth in class was Madison Sanchez McDonald from Los Animas County. Seventh in class was Libby Tharp from Weld County. Eighth in class was Emily Gallus from Washington County. Ninth in class was Chloe Lubbers from Prowers County. And 10th in class was Cheyenne Goss from Weld County. Entering the ring now will be our class winners and seconds from our medium weight division. Entering the ring at this time will be the selection for our medium weight champion. Your class winner out of class number 4 is Hannah Rigarazzi from Kit Carson County. Blake Boschel was second in that class from Weld County. Out of class number 5, your class winner is Anna Vetter from Arapahoe County. Second in that class was Briley Schweer from Weld County. Out of class 6, your class winner is Dylan Stone from Weld County. Second in that class was Josh Ryan from Weld County. And out of class number 7 was Briley Schweer from Weld County. Second in that class was Brooke Lambrick from Weld County. This is our final call for class number 8. Final call for class number 8.